This is the engine bay inspection video of the 2019 Subaru Crosstrek Plug-in Hybrid. Right away, no engine noise, no concerning sounds or any sort of mechanical noise. No spillage that I could document or observe. There's no damage to any sort of wiring, any sort of rodent infestation in here. No observable signs of rusted leaks or anything like that. I did inspect the crash rail along the front of the vehicle. If this is where the accident happened, it was very professionally put back together. Again, if it was, that's actually the sound. The engine's kicking on to it kicks on and off to run for the hybrid system. So any of that sound is the GDI pump that you'll hear. That's a high pressure fuel pump. That's normal. So I did peek down here at the frame rails. I see a very small amount of rust down here, but that's environmental rust, not something maybe from an accident. So I could not document any observed damage to the front of this vehicle or following around to the side, the quarter panels, the fenders, anything like that. Nothing missing, like these pieces of plastic here. These are kind of hard to find often. So when a vehicle is in an accident, maybe it's on the left side, that will be missing and that will be present, and then you can see down into the fenders. So it's hard to kind of tell where exactly this vehicle was in a collision or what set off the airbags. But the engine bay gets a pass, thank you. But this is the exterior inspection of the 2019 Subaru Crosstrek Plug-in Hybrid. When we hear about collision damage right away, I'm going to be very sensitive to checking panels, panel gaps, things like that. Got a little bit of a play here in this bumper cover clip right here. So I'm going to pull on panels. We're going to look for squareness or trueness of paneling. So we're going to start with the front left quarter panel, checking for A pillar. And then what I'm looking for is like a deviation, like 3 millimeters, 5 millimeters. That, I want that to come back nice and square. So this one checks out. B pillar driver side, that checks out. C pillar driver side, that checks out. Checking bumper cover in the back, snug. Pulling down below, snug. Walking around the other side, snug. The hitch itself didn't show any signs of damage or impact, so that tells me it's possible that impact, any sort of collision or what would deploy the airbags, didn't happen back here. A lot of times if those get pushed in and it tweaks the frame, you can't bolt a new one in because it's twisted or it's tweaked, and so they'll just delete that and then sell the car, and you can't bolt that back in. Checking C pillar here, passenger rear, good. B pillar, good. And A pillar, good. Checking front bumper cover. This side's more snug than that side. That doesn't immediately imply the collision happened over there, or any collision. It could have just been caught on a curb or anything like that. Pulling the front is secure. Front is secure. And the roof rails and roof and sunroof and everything, there's no mechanical damage. Everything functions as it should. So the exterior gets a pass. So I apologize if it's a bit hard to see. The contrast and light makes it pretty hard on the video to peek under the vehicle, but I'm not having any problem peeking under here. So what I'm looking for on the underbody is high centering, missing panels, rust, hanging componentry, leaks, maybe failed bushings, the ones that I can see. I'm going to walk the vehicle, same deal, looking for crushed in exhaust componentry, hanging components, maybe if there's an evap module, maybe it took some damage. Walking around the back, not seeing any on driver's side, checking for rust, bushings, leaks on the rear differential. The exhaust system is a good sign of how much rust a vehicle may be exposed to, because exhaust systems rust, and that's normal, but they tend to rust pretty consistently. So if you watch a vehicle over its years, you can use it kind of as a sign of how much rust the vehicle has been exposed to. And typically there's more rust in the back of the vehicle because of salt splash and spray. So this exhaust back here is pretty clean. It doesn't look fresh clean like it's been replaced post collision. It looks stock and like it's been here for a while, and the patina is similar to the rest of the vehicles, so it's pretty clean. So that's a good sign. Moving over to rear passenger right, same deal, looking for high centering, bushings, leaks, hanging componentry, missing componentry, not seeing anything. Following exhaust system up, checking for bracketry for control arms, Vehicle drove straight and true, tracking, so there's no suspicion that any sort of suspension problems like controller and bushings are messed up or torn. Front panels, underbody, belly pan is dry. No rips or tears, missing components or damage. So I'm going to give the underbody a clean bill of health. The underbody gets a pass. Thank you. This is the interior inspection of the 2019 Subaru Crosstrek. No rips or tears, no signs of abuse internal to the vehicle. Can't tell, there's not like a specific panel in here that looks different from another panel, or like it's the whole panel has been replaced. Both front seatbelt, I wouldn't say the pre-tensioner itself, but the slider for the adjustment, neither one of them work. That could be related to maybe if they had to disassemble it. These pre-tensioners, if these locked, they'll lock and fail because that's how they work. They'll fail closed to protect you in an accident. Typically they'll have to be replaced if it was that kind of failure. And when you have to get in here to replace them, maybe something back here wasn't put back together, or they could just be a QC issue with Subaru, or just a weakness on the model. But regardless, both of them don't work correctly. They don't slide up and down. So there's that. It has the floor mats have been replaced with the rubberized Husky custom fitted floor mats. There doesn't seem to be any carpet damage underneath them hidden or anything like that. There's no errant smells or concerns from the vehicle in here. No added air fresheners to cover anything up, no musty smells or anything like that. No malfunction indicator lamps lit on the dash. Everything's functioning as it should. Infotainment works as it should. Advanced driver assistance systems, the ADAS systems work just fine. Eyesight, cruise control, adaptive, lane departure, that all works. I could not get this button to do anything. I'm sure it's in the manual. I'm assuming just from the writing that you can tell a certain drive state, maybe we're parked or something, you're able to force the vehicle to run in combustion engine only. No matter what mode I push on the button, it gives me the mode charge not available. I don't know what state the vehicle has to be in, whether they're charging, long road trip, maybe there's a position it has to be in. So I couldn't get that button to do anything for me. The roof line, the upholstery, everything is snug, put back where it is. Nothing's loose, nothing's squeaky. I checked the sunroof, all the connections, you push on everything and it's all nice and snug. So if the roof airbags, curtain airbags did deploy, they've been repaired, I would say professionally. So interior gets a pass, thank you. This is the trunk inspection of the 2019 Subaru Crosstrek Plug-in Hybrid. I apologize, it's getting a bit windy out here, but it's hard to hear. There's not much going on back here. The big battery pack under here, so all that can be really accessed by a customer or owner is this little roadside air compressor and a little tow hook here, and the trailer hitch ball is back here as well. So that's all that's really here. So I would call that complete. Everything's here for the trunk. Nothing is missing, nothing is damaged. So no smells, no sign of rodent infestation or water damage that I can see. It is mounted very high up, so it's not, you can't get under here to see the battery, but no immediate suspicions of any sort of damage or shenanigans going on back here. So the trunk gets a pass, thank you. Okay, this is the code scan portion of the 2019 Subaru Crosstrek Plug-in Hybrid. It's going to be somewhat of a extended video because I want to discuss kind of the experience operating the vehicle with the hybrid system. Appears to be there's a total of 95 cells. Try to scroll down and get there. So 95 cells. I did look through all these cells and make sure that the voltages were healthy. So every cell individually is healthy. The total system appears to have 332 volts. I also looked at the internal resistance as well, so that's all good. So no individual cell is bad. So nothing in here is in terms of the battery health itself is good. Now, one thing I do want to document is that during the drive, I could not get the state of charge of the battery over 14%. Now, hybrid vehicles manage a whole bunch of different drive cycles in terms of the total operation of the vehicle, up and down hills, acceleration, braking, regenerative braking, light throttle. So it's not easy to nail down performance in terms of state of charge for what a plug-in hybrid system is going to do. Because it's a plug-in hybrid, it is intentionally not going to rely as hard on the combustion engine to charge up this battery. So while I wasn't able to get the battery over 14%, that might be very likely that's how the system is supposed to work. It maintains just enough charge in the system to manage the regenerative braking systems, the acceleration boost when you floor the full throttle and you get the electric motor and the transmission kicks in along with the combustion engine. And to maintain battery health, it's not going to run a full charge on the battery, and it's going to expect that you plug it in. But I do want to document regardless that I wasn't able to, in a 20 to 25 minute drive, I wasn't able to get the state of charge above 14%. There's nothing stored in here in terms of codes or any of the check system. There's a lot of checkpoints where the system checks itself and they're coming back clear. So there's nothing in the data here. We've got like system check. Where is it? System check. These are individual Subaru based codes for the hybrid system. I can't immediately tell you what that 18 1C underscore 10, but they will correspond to something internal to Subaru's software or database it's checking a particular portion of the hybrid system, and there's probably 20 of those just scattered around here. The cooling system and heating system for the battery is working all within same parameters. So there's no one portion, I've already scrolled through this, there's no one portion of the hybrid battery system that is standing out as this portion's bad, it's struggling, it's having a problem. And so like I said, right now we're at maximum state of charge. I had turned the vehicle off, turned it back on, and we're seeing 11% here. So again, plug-in hybrid, it's not going to entirely rely on the internal combustion engine to maybe fully top off the battery. The regenerative braking works, the battery acceleration does work. I did notice that when it gets below about 10% on the state of charge, it doesn't want to give me as much oomph out of the generator back into the car. So it's kind of hard to tell if, again, that's how the system is supposed to work. And that it's really, this system should not have, maybe because it's plugged in, maybe it's supposed to, when I picked it up from the dealer, they hadn't had it plugged in. So the car's operable, but I guess, the idea would be for a owner to keep this vehicle plugged in overnight to keep that battery topped off. So I'm actually idling the vehicle right now, and it just kicked back into a charge cycle. So the battery management system is working as it should, and there's nothing in this system that is showing me that there's a problem with it. So barring just that one thing, like I said, about the state of charge, I'm going to give it a pass based on what I know. There were 2 stored codes for the air conditioner. There's an internal temp sensor, maybe somewhere in here that's unplugged. It said the circuit's open or faulted. Maybe that was related to the airbag deployment and the collision. They did a very good job putting the interior back together. I'll show that under the interior video, but if that was left unplugged, and that may be a concern there. Also, the right speaker, there's a code in the telematics module that says the right speaker has a circuit fault in it as well. Okay, this is the conclusions video of the 2019 Subaru Crosstrek Plug-in Hybrid. Very minor amount of underbody rust was observed. The car is documented as being from Indiana, so Midwest Rust Belt. To be honest, I'm surprised there's not more, but it's only about 6 years old. Did not see any damage, mechanical damage, any sort of high centering underneath the vehicle, no missing panels, nothing like that. Brakes and wheels are in good health. You're going to see a lot of reduction in brake wear, and so you see these kind of staining and scoring here, and that's real common on these regenerative braking vehicles because you're not giving it a lot of brake pressure. So much of that power is recovered that these vehicles start having, you can actually develop brake problems because the brakes are not being used and heated and refreshed. The pad's not scraping the rotor enough. So that's a documented issue. That's just something you're going to see on hybrids. So you can kind of see on the front too, and it really is just because you're not squeezing that caliper down and cleaning off that rotor. But the rotors themselves, there's no warpage, there's no drivability concerns with them in terms of the vehicle braking itself. Checking panel gaps, everything else was good. I did not document any any collision damage under the hood that I could see. It's very hard to tell actually where any sort of collision damage happened, and the interior is put together and put back well. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this vehicle a pass. I didn't find anything on it that that jumped out at me. There was a red flag that would tell me immediately there's a large concern for this vehicle based on the information having a salvage title and having an airbag deployment. So thank you.